Hello, quick patch notes. Video the first in path of Exile 2. Quickly let's wrap this up. Dodge roll changes. Player size is now set to 0 units, while dodge rolling instead of 1 unit. Some smaller monsters can now be pushed while dodge rolling. This includes monsters such as the adorned beetles in Keth. This should result in getting trapped less often. Note that you can still be trapped. A player size of 0 can still not phase through monsters, but it can get through even the smallest gap between them. Checkpoint changes. A lot of players have been reporting that it can be tedious to need to retread areas of maps in order to get back to objectives that they already found. We will be deploying the following change in an upcoming patch. Clicking on a checkpoint will allow you to teleport to other checkpoints in the area that are explored on your minimap. Checkpoints have been added to all entrances and exits of zones to allow for teleportation. A checkpoint has been added to the midpoint of the first Dreadnought area. We will be making further adjustments to checkpoint positions as we continue to gather feedback. Item changes. One of the major problems that players have been experiencing is feeling that the game is not rewarding enough. This is an area that we have to be very careful when adjusting because it's very hard to reduce drops if we increase them by too much. We have identified a few key areas that we believe will significantly improve the experience that players are having. Rare monster changes. We felt that rare monsters were not rewarding enough. This didn't affect the campaign as much because there are more unique bosses, increasing the overall amount of drops. But it's especially noticeable when playing in the endgame, where unique monsters are less common. In particular, the reward that you were getting for the increased difficulty of rares wasn't lining up. We have deployed the following changes. Rarity bonus per rare mod has been doubled plus 10%. Quantity bonus per rare mod increase the chance of rare monsters inherently having more modifiers as you progress through endgame. These changes will cause rare monster rewards to naturally scale up as you get to higher levels, because the number of mods a monster can have increases throughout the campaign and into endgame. In addition, many other forms of map juicing will indirectly cause rare monsters to have more mods as well, increasing the rewards of these other mechanics too. Also note the change below to make sure each map has a minimum number of rares, which will also increase the average number of rare mods, and thus increasing drops further. Currency changes. We felt that players were not getting enough of certain currency, either in the early game or to sustain adding mods to maps. We have deployed the following changes. Regal Orb drop rates increased around 40%. Disenchanting of 6 mod rares to give 2 Regal Shards instead of 1. Lesser Jeweler's Orbs drop rates increased around 33%. Reduce the drop rate of Chaos Orbs slightly, as they are less valued, and so that it doesn't consume so much of the rare currency drop pool. This causes currency such as Exalted Orbs to increase somewhat. Gemcutter's Prism drop rates increased by 500%. Gemcutter's Prisms now increase quality on gems by 5% instead of 1%. Map mod changes. Like with rares, we felt that players were not being rewarded enough for the difficulty that was being added by map mods. We have significantly increased the value of all prefix map mods. We have changed all map prefix mods, but some example changes we have deployed are: rarity mods have been increased by 2.5 times. Quantity mods have had extra rarity added to them. This is now in a later patch. We removed the bottom tier of some mods. You are much more likely to roll modifiers that affect drops or pack size rather than less useful mods. In addition, it has been identified that some areas are not being affected by the increased number of monster packs, mod, as they should be. We will be fixing these maps to work correctly in a later patch. Unlucky drop protection. One of the major issues we have identified are outlier unlucky drops. A single unique boss dropping badly, especially early on, can significantly affect your character. We have deployed the following changes. No more than 50% of a unique monster's drops can be gold. Act bosses and map bosses will always drop at least one rare. The first of these changes is more significant than it first appears because players can't see the difference between normal and rare gold piles. You will get more equipment and currency items which can take more advantage of the rarity increases that unique monsters provide. Click to move. There was an issue where the move-only command was name-locking. This would often result in your character confusingly attacking in an unexpected direction while holding down this action. We have deployed the following change. Move only no longer name-locks endgame maps. A concern for players in endgame maps is accidentally missing rare monsters. In addition, many maps did not have the number of rare monsters that they should have had. We will be making the following changes in an upcoming patch. Rare monsters now appear on the minimap when there are 200 monsters remaining, instead of 50. Many maps have had additional rare monsters added to them to make sure that there are a minimum number in every map type. Over the coming weeks, we will be continuing to work on map layouts and monster density issues in maps. My quick conclusion, finally, the getting stuck problem is getting solved, and we get more currency drops. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video Exile.